we'll post it. Why not? In case anyone's not here. Yeah, and also, if you're not here, we have Zoom. We record every year. We make it, as I think you said last time, we try to get rid of all the excuses. So you're not here. What?
I still find excuses.
It does every night. Now that's over 2 nights. There's no excuses anymore. You're traveling also. You're traveling. Baruch Hashem. Sukkah shigavaya l'mayla me'asem. It took a long time to find those excuses. The first Sukkah shigavaya l'mayla me'asem am. A sukkah which is taller, gavaya, taller. I don't know everyone here. They're learning. So if I'm reading too slow, you could tell me. If I'm reading too fast, you could tell me. This is really no whatever it is. Sukkah she gavaya l'mayla me'esrim amma. A sukkah which is taller than 20 amos, psula, is possible. V'Rev Yehuda and Rev Yehuda machshir. Rev Yehuda says this sukkah is kosher. Din number 1 in the Mishnah. There's a maximum height of your sukkah. The Chachamim, the Tanna Kama say 20 amos. Rev Yehuda says do what you want. Number 2, v'she'inoi gavaya. If it's not tall, asar tfachim, meaning it's under 10 tfachim. A tefach is about 6 inches. So 10 tefachim is 60 inches. What's that? That's 5 feet. That's pretty tall. V'she'ena gavaya, it's probably a little bit less than that. She'ena gavaya asar tefachim. If it's not 10 tefachim tall, v'she'en lo gimel defanis, and if it does not have 3 walls, v'shechamasa. Chamasa is the sun. And if the sun is meruba, more, meitzi lasa, than the shade, psula. So the Mishnah is teaching us what is a sukkah. 3 qualifications of a sukkah. Number 1, it has to be at least 10 tefachim tall. Number 2, it has to have at least 3 walls. Number 3, it cannot have more sun than shade, meaning it has to have more shade than sun. Look at one Rashi, a very important line of Rashi. Rashi, in the last wide line, the last 5 words says, Val Shem Haschach Karui Sukkah. One might ask, why do I care how much shade is in the sukkah? What's the difference? I have walls. I have this thing on top called tzchach. Who cares? So Rashi comes along and explains the reason is a sukkah is because of the tzchach. That line is going to come back. To us. So we learned in the Mishnah the maximum height of the sukkah, the minimum height of the sukkah, the minimum amount of walls, and the minimum amount of tzchach. Yes.
Sometimes it's Osheina, or sometimes it's
Visheina. Visheina, very good. The vav here, it's actually a tricky vav, because vav means and. Right. Vav means or. So what's going on over here? Those last 3 dinim, you need all of them. If any one of them is out, then your sukkah is out. Meaning, if your sukkah is 10 tefachim tall, and it has adequate tzchach, but it doesn't have 3 walls, it's possible. If you have each one stands on its own. Says the Gemara Tanan Hasam, we start off with equating our Mishnah to another Mishnah we learned over there. Where is over there? Thank you very much. God bless you. Where is over there? I made a bracha on the coffee. Over there is in Erevin. Mavui. A mavui. We'll translate what that is in a moment. Shehu gavoiha, which is taller, me esrim amma, than esrim amma. Says the Mishnah in Erevin, yema'et. You have to lower it. Yema'it, you have to minimize it literally. Rev Yehuda Aimer, einay tzarich. You don't have to minimize it. We don't know what a mavui is, and I'm not going to tell you yet. Let's first see what the Gemara is saying. The Mishnah in Erevin says, if I have a mavui, we don't know what this is, but whatever it is, this thing called a mavui, which is taller than 20 amos, what do? Rav Yehuda says, it's okay. And the Tanna Kama, the Chachamim say what? You have to lower the mavui. So as you realize, this is very similar to our Mishnah. In our Mishnah, Rav Yehuda allowed the sukkah to be taller than 20 amos, and the Chachamim said what? It has to be shorter. But what's the difference? In our Mishnah, what did it say? It said, Rav Yehuda said kosher, and the Tanna Kama, very good, said pasul. In Erevin, what did it say? It didn't say kosher pasul. It told you how to fix it. It's too tall, lower it. So asks the Gemara, Ma'ishina, what's the reason, or literally, why is it different? Gabe sukkah, with regard to sukkah, ditani besula, it says it's puzzle. Taller than 20 amos, you're done. Puzzle. Umayshna gabe mavoi, whereas with regard to mavoi, what does it say? Ditani takanta. It tells you how to fix it. I don't understand. Talk the same. It's a Mishnah. Say puzzle. Tell me the mavoi's puzzle. If you're going to tell me how to fix it, say how to fix the sukkah. So before we even get into the dinim of sukkah, the Gemara starts with contrasting the stylistic way that our Mishnah is written versus the way it's written in Eruvin. Answers the Gemara a few terutzim. Number one, sukkah deraisa. One second, before we get to the teretz, it's not fair. I didn't tell you what a mavli is. What in the world is a mavli? So a mavli, without getting complicated, is an alleyway. An alleyway. Imagine a cul-de-sac. Imagine a cul-de-sac with walls. You have walls around the two sides of the cul-de-sac and the backside. So you have three walled cul-de-sac. Okay, so who cares? The question is, you let it carry in this area on Shabbos. This is going to the world of Eruvin. You have no Eruv. You're in the middle of Flatbush, and you have a dead end, a cul-de-sac, and there's three walls. One wall on one side, one wall on the other side of the street, and one wall in the back. Are you let it carry in this three-walled area? The answer is midaraisa, yes. If you forget everything I'm saying, is perfectly fine. You don't need to know any of this for our Masechta, but just to know what a mavoi is. Really, midaraisa, you're allowed to carry. Midarabanan, they made a din darabanan that you're not allowed to carry because we're afraid what's going to happen if you carry in this cul-de-sac? You're going to walk out and carry into the street. And what's the street? Rosh Hashanah, public. Isser daraisa to carry there. Because of that, they said in Isser darabanan, don't carry in here. And how do they allow it? By placing something called a lechi or a mavui. A lechi being a vertical beam, a mavui, a kaira, being a horizontal beam at the entrance to the mavui. So that was a lot of details that were very difficult. But what's the point? The point is that this mavui situation that you have, this item at the front, this kaira at the front, this beam that's reminding you it's simply not to walk out of this area, can't be more than 20 amos. Why? We don't know. But we do know that the way that the Mishnah in Eruvin wrote it was different than our Mishnah. Why? It sounds very similar. If it can't be more than 20, it can't be more than 20. If you're able to fix it, fix it. Why does it say it differently? So by Mavui, it says how to fix it. In our Mishnah, it just says kosher and pasul. Yes?
There's 1,000 cases in the Torah where
correct.
The way to fix it,
correct.
The Torah just says pasul.
Correct.
You have to...
so good. And in Gemara, usually, you just tell me the din. Why? So you're asking, are there other cases? It's a good question. I don't know. I wish I did. A real whatever would say, Gemara here. I don't know. But that's exactly the point. Why in one place you say pasul, one place you tell you how to fix it. If you're writing a book, in chapter 1, you write this law, and if you don't do this, it's invalid. And in chapter 25, in a different topic, you write, and this thing, if it's too big, you can fix it. Just tell me the same thing by both.
But at the same time, I learned the Arabic Mishnah probably 6 or 7 times.
Good.
I never knew that it was dirt.
Never knew which one to carry in the mavli.
Yeah.
Correct. Just tells you the din that it's you're not allowed to carry. It's like the first Rashi in Eruvin says, and Rashi over here. If you really want to see it, look at that afterwards. You can look at the big Rashi. The first Rashi in the Gemara speaks out what we just said. Says the Gemara. So what's going on again? Ma'ishla mavli detani takanta. How you can fix it? Ma'ishla sukkah detani pesula. Says the Gemara. Sukkah deraisa. Sukkah is a din deraisa. Therefore, on a din deraisa, psula, tani psula. Mavu is a din derabanan, on a derabanan. Tani takanta will tell you how to fix it. Answer number 1. Answer number 2, the by yisema, which means a second answer. Bidaraisa. When it comes to din deraisa, nami tani takanta. Really, we would also tell you how to fix it. So why by sukkah does it not tell you how to fix it? Miu. Sukkah, when it comes to sukkah, din nafish milsa. There are many dinim of sukkah. Sukkah doesn't just have one din. In our Mishnah, we already saw multiple dinim. Din nafish milsa. There are many dinim. Therefore, pasik, it basically paskind, it's clear cut. Vitani psula. Just says it straight. Whereas by a mavoi, deloi nafish mili, there's not a lot of dinim. Therefore, tani takanta. So two different reasons why we have a difference between the Mishnah in Erevin versus the Mishnah in Sukkah. Reason number one, a Sukkah is a deraisa, so we're more clear, pasul kasher, mavis derabanan, so we tell you how to fix it. Reason number two, Sukkah has multiple dinim, so therefore we want to write in the clearest way possible. So the clearest way possible, we just say pasul, mavoi, which is one din, therefore we write how to fix it, which is to lower that mavoi. Ye ma 8. Literally for one more minute, just to start the next Gemara, says the Gemara, Minna Hani Mili. From where do we know this din? What din? That a sukkah can't be taller than 20 amos. We're going to have multiple sources. Let's just read the first. Amar Rabba to Amar Kra, the pasuk says, Lema'an yedu deiresechem, that for generations you should know, ki ba'sukkos yishafti espedei Yisrael, that Klal Yisrael dwelt in sukkos. And therefore, ad esrim amma, until 20 amos, adim yedeh shudar b'sukkah. You know that you're living in a sukkah. Lemala me'esrim amma, once it's taller than 20 amos, ein adam yedeh shudar b'sukkah. Why not? Why not? You're in a sukkah. You're in this structure with 4 walls. Misham deloi shaltu ba'ina. Your eye doesn't see it. Your eye doesn't see what? You're sitting in this massive sukkah. What do you mean? You've never been in a building with these massive ceilings 50 feet tall? You know you're in a building. So what's loi shaltu ba'ina? Your eye doesn't see it. You know what your eye doesn't see? The schach, the roof. That brings us back to that first Rashi. What is a sukkah? A sukkah is the schach. Al shem aschach. So when you're a very, very tall building, you don't see the roof. And that's the reason why, the first reason why, Laman Yedu, you have to know you're in a sukkah. If it's more than 20 amos, you don't know you're in it. We're going to have other makaris. I know we went to job late. It's because we started job late. In Mirza Hashem in general, we're very good on times. No one has to feel off. I'm going to come. He's going to go to 9:10, and then I'm not going to get home to that. No. We make sure we'll be done what needs to be done. B'siyat Tishmai. Also, usually we'll try to finish a few minutes early to give everyone a few minutes to read it over right after we learn it, because now, I just read it now, you could just read it through. By tomorrow, already you'll forget, so we'll send out the voice note. You're going to, Rabbi Aaron is going to be point man, Emir Tzashem, and Shkaya Chevra, Shkaya. Chesky, grab a Gemara, take one. Take a DOS. Take a DOS. You're good?
I have that kind of.
Okay. We'll leave them here just in case. Chesky, Shkaya.
Shkaya.
Shkaya Rabbi Eisenstein.